Business Foundations for Mums, with me, Kate Butcher, is the podcast to listen to if you are a mum who is ready to launch your business, not sure where to start, or wanting to turn that sideline into something more serious. It will be full of practical tips, mindset advice, and inspirational and honest interviews with mums who are juggling business and motherhood, supporting mums in business to turn your dream into a reality. And welcome to today's episode of Business Foundations for Mums. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the different avenues that mums can take when they're looking to start a business. This could be because they want to start a business and they're not sure what to do, but it could equally be because there are lots of mums now who are multi-passionate. They might already have one business, but they'll have something else that they're really passionate about. Or they might be in a career and an employed job where they're really loving what they do, but they want to have a business as well because they have another passion. But today, I also wanted to talk a little bit for those mums who maybe want to have a business, but they're just a bit unsure about what they can do. And I wanted to talk about the types of different jobs that are out there, the types of different businesses that are out there. There are multiple different business structures that you can go down and different types of business, different business models. And it really depends on your passion, your interests, and your skill set, and also what you have the desire to do. So I wanted to talk a little bit, first of all, about traditional business models. By traditional business models, we are talking about a business where you sell something effectively. So you might be selling something via e-commerce, which would be effectively selling a product or a service online. There might also be service-based businesses. So these are businesses such as my virtual assistant business, where I deliver a service for that person. And these can be really good to do as mums because quite often these are businesses that you can do from home. You can work from home around your children, and this can be a really good way to get started in business. But equally, there are bricks and mortar establishments as well. So these would be businesses where you need a physical premises, and that can often be an actual shop, potentially. It could be a beauty salon, it could be a food outlet business, but equally it could be something that you can do from home where people come to you. So I know lots of people who might have, say, a beauty-based business, and they might have a room in their home where people can come, and they might have a studio, or they might have a treatment room or something like that in their home. Or equally, I know of some businesses who maybe use an outside business. They've converted a shed or an outhouse into a place where they can physically deliver their business from. So there's lots of different ways that you can repurpose different spaces that you have, or you can find spaces in which to deliver what it is that you want to do. So food-based businesses is something worth touching on. There's really, really big business out there for food-based businesses. So it might be something where you have a cafe or somewhere where people come to you for food. It might be food that you make and you sell elsewhere, or you deliver to your clients or your customers. Or it might be a mobile food outlet, and these are really, really popular at the moment. I know a number of horsebox-based businesses at the moment that sell from horse boxes or from converted vans. So there's lots of different ways in which you can do a food-based business. Pop-ups are really popular as well for food-based businesses, or going into people's homes and creating something for them in that kind of setting. So it's about thinking about what works for you and the setup that would work best for you. The other thing that you could think about if you wanted a traditional business is to make some kind of a product or to sell some kind of a product. It might be a product that is handmade, is homemade, and then you make it and then you sell it, whether that be online, whether that be at craft fairs, whether that be at outlets from stores that you can go in and have a concessionary area in. And something that can work really well in the modern world is personalized items, handmade or homemade personalized items, whether it's personalizing it with a customized image or a bespoke image that you're creating for someone, or it might be personalizing it with names or dates of birth or all sorts of different things that can be included. Art is another one. It can be created potentially in a studio or a space that you have in your home. But equally, if you have another space that you can go out to and use, that can be really useful as well. Art is something that appeals to different people. So it might also be worth, as a mum, that you might be thinking about child or baby related products that you could sell, something that you could make and sell for mums or for babies, for children. And this could be something that you have come across or found that there is a need for as a mum yourself that nobody else is doing. Sweets, I came across a sweet business a few months ago, and I've used her a couple of times recently to buy sweets for occasions, for events, as a birthday treat. So that can be a really good one. And that's a case of buying in the products and repackaging them into something that is much more personalized for the individuals buying them. Buying and selling. So buying something at a lower price and selling it at an increased price, or alternatively, buying something and then redoing it, doing it up, making it better, improving upon it. So that can work really well for, say, furniture-based businesses. But again, thinking about the space that you might need for renovating that piece of furniture so that you can sell it on. And repurposing items, selling items that can be repurposed into something else can be a really good way of making a business as well. So it's about thinking about the pros and the cons of each business model, thinking about which one works better for you and which one fits in with your lifestyle and with your business goals. So that's some of the more traditional business models. I also wanted to touch a little bit on multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing does get a bad press from a lot of people, but it can also work really, really well in some business models. And there are multiple companies out there, and it can be a really good way of getting you into business, getting you started. And I have had a multi-level marketing business at one point. I sold Usborne books for a while, and those are a product that I absolutely adored. I wasn't interested in the recruiting side of that business. And that's really where you can make the business more successful in most multi-level marketing companies. I was just really interested in the products. I absolutely loved them. And during that time of my life when my children were really small, it was absolutely perfect for me because it allowed me to get my confidence back in business, to get my confidence up in business, ready to move on and do my own thing. I learned a lot of skills along the way as well. And I was able to get these amazing books that I was able to share with other people as well and to sell those on to other people, as well as getting some for myself and for my children, which effectively paid and covered the costs of buying books for my children when they were small. So, multi level marketing, whilst it does get a bad press from some people and some places, and it's not the right business model for everyone, there are some bad practices amongst some of the multi level marketing companies. But equally, as I say, there's definitely a place for it. And there's definitely lots of people who like a lot of the products that multi level marketing companies sell. And I've come across quite a few business owners, particularly recently, who have said that they were really anxious about having a multi level marketing company, or they said they would never have a multi level marketing company. But then they have found a product or a service that works really, really well for them. And then they are able to sell that. I think with all of these things, if you're passionate about something, it's a lot easier to sell that than if you have no interest in it. Another business model to think about is online ventures and digital products. So these are products where you don't have any physical product to sell, you don't have a service to sell, but you are creating something which is available for people to purchase online. So that might be, for example, an online course where somebody purchases it online and then they have access to that course and they can keep going back in at their own pace or for the time frame that you set for them to have access for that course. Digital downloads can be really good. Free printables are a really good option. Digital books that people can download. Membership sites are another one, but membership sites do need a lot of work and a lot of time to keep them maintained, whereas some of the other digital products can be created and then put online ready to sell. And then I was going to say left to sell. That's not the right word because you still need to market them, of course. But with memberships, you do need to be constantly updating the content, constantly adding and contributing to that membership as well. But passive income potential from digital products is absolutely huge and from online ventures. So have a think about whether that is a route that you could potentially go down. Another option, if you are a mum in business, is thinking about freelancing or consulting. So, this would be, for example, if you've maybe come from the corporate world and you have a skill, you have an expertise, you've come from a role where you have some degree of management or expertise or skill in a specialist area that you can then monetize. You can go into businesses, you can work on a freelance basis where you have a lot more control over your hours and the work that you choose to accept or decline, or going in and consulting and working with businesses to help them to progress using your experience and your expertise. These can be really good ways of continuing in a career path that you've maybe been really passionate about, but doing it more on your terms so that you can fit that in around family life. And I wanted to talk briefly about passive income streams as well. We've already mentioned online ventures, digital products, and some of these can be passive in terms of their style of sale. And equally, there are other types of passive income. And I'm using the word passive very loosely here, and I'll say why in a minute. But things such as affiliate marketing, where effectively you're selling something on somebody else's behalf and you get a cut of whatever it is that they end up selling, or you end up selling on their behalf, and you get a cut of that income. This can work really well, and it can work anything from some products which you might get 2 or 3 pence for every person who clicks on a link to purchase something, right the way through to some programs and organizations where you can make thousands of pounds in marketing their products and their services for them. One thing with affiliate marketing to bear in mind, as I said, I think it's a lot easier to sell something if you're really passionate about it. So, affiliate marketing is about picking and choosing products and services that you would maybe recommend anyway. Because otherwise, I think people are a little bit wary and people can pick up if you're not totally 100% on board with what it is that you're selling. Rental income is another one. And again, not totally passive. There is always going to be work that needs to be done. You can minimize this. You can mitigate this by having, for example, a management company who will look after your property for you, having a bookkeeper who will manage the finances for you. But there is always a degree of income. There is always potentially problems to overcome and things that need to be done on the properties that you're renting out. So rental income can be another good form of income and passive income potentially. And royalties is another really good one. If you have something which you have created and then you make royalties from other people using that service, that product, whatever it is, that deliverable, and you get royalties every time that's used, that can be a really good way of creating a passive stream of income. Books, creating a book that can be on Amazon, and that can then start to sell and create money that you get royalties from every sale of that book. And self-publishing on Amazon has made that a much easier route for lots of people to go down now. As with all kinds of business, there is no such thing as a fully passive income, or if there is, I certainly haven't come across one. Everything, including those things that I mentioned, such as rental income, affiliate marketing, royalties, there is always a certain degree of marketing that still needs to be done to encourage people to purchase those things. So there will always be some degree of work involved beyond just the initial creation of the product. But even if that's just managing somebody else who's doing that marketing for you, there will always be more work that does need to be done on that. So there is no such thing as a totally passive form of income. Whatever kind of business you have, it is really important to create systems, to create automations to generate your income while you're balancing your family responsibilities. And that's a really key part of it. It's making sure that if you're managing multiple income streams, you're also able to manage and juggle all of those additional responsibilities that you have at home as well. And obviously, those responsibilities will vary from family to family as to how much responsibility falls to you and how much time you have for your business. But I would be really interested to find out a little bit more about any businesses that you might be interested in, whether you want a bit of advice or information to help make that decision about what kind of business could be right for you. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you already have some streams of income and there's more that you'd love to do, whether you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur or whether you're looking at diversifying your income so that you have multiple streams of income to give you that little bit extra financial stability. I hope that's been useful for you. And I'd be really interested to find out whether that has been of any use and what kinds of streams of income you're interested in. And I look forward to our next episode, which is a fantastic interview with another inspiring mum in business. Thank you for joining us here at Business Foundations for Mums. You can find all of our episodes, show notes and blog posts at businessfoundationsformums.co.uk, and you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook.